In this video we're going to create a gearbox housing like this one and basically show you some of the productivity tools that come with IronCAD in terms of the way it manages shapes using Sizebox handles, and obviously the Triball as well for actually manoeuvring and manipulating the position of parts within the model. So we get started by going to the icon at the top of the screen, File, and let's go and select New Scene. And I've already got the Shapes Catalogue open over here, so we'll start with the Shapes Catalogue, and we just drag and drop a cylinder. So it's left mouse click, select the actual cylinder in the Shapes Catalogue and drag and drop it into the scene like so. One left mouse click on the part will bring up the Sizebox handles. Let's just do a quick let's just change the actual physical parameters of this shape. So I'll give it a diameter of 72 and an overall length, we'll make that 126 like so. So effectively that's the first shaft that we need within this model. I need another one as well, so what you can do in actual fact is just select the actual part with the left mouse button and then basically do a cut and paste, so Control C and Control V on the keyboard. Effectively if we look in the scene now, you'll see you've actually got two parts. We've copied one. So if we just select the second one and press F10, what I'm going to do here in actual fact is pick on the outer handle of the Triball and do a right mouse click inside the circle down here. Let's do that again, right mouse click inside the circle, drag it round, keeping the right mouse pressed, let go, select the move here option, and basically we'll give it an angle of 90 degrees, so that shaft is orthogonal to that one. We need to reposition this shaft so it's halfway along this cylinder here. So what we can do is pick the outer handle of the Triball there, and in actual fact pick the centre of the Triball and do a point to point, and we'll pick that one there and that face there, and basically we've now moved that cylinder so it's halfway along the other one. If I select this one again, what I'm going to do in actual fact is just extend that cylinder so that it's breaking through the other one like so. And now we can go to features and we can use a trim command within the feature tab. Select trim, and it's going to ask for the target part. Well, the target part is going to be that one there. The part we're going to trim it against is that one there. And if we scroll down the properties box, you'll see there's a box here that says sections to keep. So if we actually pick that one there and just select one of those shapes, you'll see that it's gone green. Just click the green tick and it's actually trimmed that back. So now we've actually also got the intersecting curve where it goes into the other tube like so. And that's effectively our first two shafts that that form part of this this gearbox housing. Now I'm going to go to the actual Shapes Catalogue now and bring in another block, and we've got this block here, and what we can do in actual fact, we can give that a length, so we'll call that 104 in terms of length, and I'll give it a height of, let's call that I think we'll make that 84 like so, and I'll give it a thickness of 12. So that effectively is our front plate. I need now to position this plate at the centre of this shaft here. So I've actually select that plate there and press F10 to bring up the Triball. You'll see that it in actual fact needs to be repositioned in the centre of the plate. So if I press the space bar, the Triball turns white, which means it's now unattached from that part. And if I hover over the centre of the Triball and say let's move that to a point, and just hover to a point like so, it's now in the centre of the plate. Press the actual space bar to reattach the Triball to the part, and if you look at this, you'll actually see that if I want to position this plate on here, I really need that Triball on the other side of this plate. So you can in actual fact just do a right mouse click on one of those handles there and go reverse, so it's now actually on the right side. And I'm going to hover over the centre of the Triball and move that to the centre point of that shaft there, so it's now in the right position. And I also need two more plates, slightly different size to this one, but it's easier if I do a Control C, Control V, cut and paste again. So I do a Control C and a Control V, press F10, and now what I'm going to do in actual fact is pick on the inner handle here on this triball, right mouse click and say perpendicular to a face, and we just make it perpendicular to that face there. And again I'm going to move that from the centre point there to the centre point of that shaft there. So that's the second plate. What I can do now is use a triball to mirror this part so it's actually over this side of the shaft. So I'll pick on that one there, press F10, press the spacebar to detach the triball from the plate again, and I'm going to move that in that direction. Left mouse click on that outer axis, press a right mouse button on the actual centre here, and I'm going to move it to a point, and I'm just going to move it to a point there like so. Press the spacebar again to reattach that plate to the triball, and then do a right mouse click here and go mirror and go link. So effectively what I've done now, I've actually linked that one, so it's a link mirror over on the other side. That means if I make any change to this one, it'll automatically change this one as well. And you can see that the edge of that one is magenta and that one's highlighted in purple, signifying that it's a linked copy. So that's actually the three plates now in place on this on the gearbox housing. We've also got some shafts in here as well that need to be positioned. There's 4 of them that go in here. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to pick a cylinder. I'm going to drag and drop that into the scene. I'm going to double click on the actual shape, and I'm going to give that a diameter of 26. And what I'll do, I'll also, these have got a hole going through them as well, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to pick a hollow cylinder. I'll drop that on the centre there, and I'm going to give that a radius of 12, or a diameter of 12, sorry, and then I'm just going to extend this through the part like so. I'll bring it out both sides like that. So that's basically our cylinder. If I press F10 again, what I'm going to do is position this triball halfway along the height of this cylinder. So press the space bar again, and I want to move it in that direction, and I'll say I want it to go from point to point. So I just pick that face there and that face there, and now you'll see that the triball is actually halfway along the length of the cylinder. And if I press the space bar again, I've reattached that to that. Press F10. Now what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to change the height of this. These are 86 high, so I'll pick that handle there. And if you look inside here, you've got these little yellow dots, and if I pick on one of those, you'll see that the other end's gone yellow as well. So that basically means that if I actually make a change to this, it will automatically update symmetrically about the centre point. So I'll make that 86. And go OK. So that's now actually extended the shaft length. So I'm going to select this shaft again, press F10, and what I'll do, I'll actually pick this axis here, or what I could do in actual fact is pick that one there and just make that perpendicular to a face like so. So that's actually perpendicular now to the part, the orientation it needs to be. And what I'm going to do now in actual fact, I'm going to actually take this point, select the centre of the triball with the right mouse button, move that to a point and just drop it on that point there. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to right mouse click on that outer handle and say move here, and because it's 86 centres, I'm going to move that from the centre 43 and just say OK. Likewise, what I'll do, I'll pick this handle here and I'll move it that way, and I'll move here and I'll make that one 43. Okay, so that should now be in position like so. In actual fact, looking at that, it needs to be brought down so it's central with this shaft. So I'll pick up on that axis there, say move that to a centre point and just pick the centre point of that shaft there. So that's now in position. Now I need to copy these. I need 3 more of these, so I'll pick on this shaft here, press F10, and what I'm going to do, I'll just pick on this outer handle here, right mouse button and drag, and just say OK, let's copy here, and I want one of those at 86 distance. So we've now got 2 of those in place. What I'll do now is pick one and then hold the shift key down and then pick the second one and then press F10. And now what I'm going to do is pick the outer handle this way this time, right mouse click, drag and say copy here. I want one of those at 86 centres again. So effectively now we've got our four shafts in place. I also now need to put some more ribs in here connecting these pillars. So what I'll do, I'll go to a block again. I'll bring this block in here and I'll give this a height of say 78. And I'll give it I'm not too worried about the distance, so I'll just drag that out. And now I'm actually going to pick on here and I'll give that a thickness of 5, like so. I need now to position this on against these pillars. So what I'll do, if I pick this one up here, this shaft, highlight it, press F10, what I'm going to do in actual fact, I'm going to press the space bar to detach the triball from the part, hover over the centre of the triball and move that, and I'm going to move it to the midpoint of that face there, like so, and press the space bar again to reattach the triball to the part. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up on that point there on the triball and move that say to a point like so. It's actually in the centre of that pillar. And now what I can do, press F10. I'm now going to actually drag these in a bit so they clear the holes in the pillar like so. Do the same for this one. Drop that one down like so. So that's now in position. Now what I'm going to do, pick this one up, I'll do a Control C and a Control V again. Press F10. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up on this axis here. I'm going to rotate that. And I'll say copy here, and I want one of those, and I want that angle to be 90 degrees, and say OK. So effectively we've got these in place. One more, press this one here, F10. What I'm going to do, reposition the triball so it's actually again at the halfway point for a mirror, like so. Pick up on this axis here and say mirror and go link. So basically now what we've got our 3 axes in here like so. So they're all in place. What I can do now at this stage is I could, if I wish, pick these plates and suppress each one like so. So we can actually see the ends of these shafts are exposed. I want to shell these shafts, and also I'll probably need to run a hole through the centre of this so that it goes through that plate there as well. So in actual fact what we can do here to do this is we've got the Boolean command. So what we can do is we can join these bits together using the union option in Boolean. So I'll pick this one here, pick this one here, and also pick that plate like so, and we just say OK. So effectively this is now one part. We've got those 2 parts there, that part there. Let's just do that again, just make sure that that is Boolean. So I pick those there. It's actually showing me that that is Boolean. So OK. So now what we'll do, we'll pick up on these, we'll do a right mouse click and we'll do shell. And we'll pick that face there, that one, and we'll give them a thickness of 5 and say OK. So effectively what we've got there, we've actually got these shelled. But what I need to do in actual fact, looking at this, if I want to put a hole through the whole lot, I'm going to have to Boolean these other ones as well. So let's just go back to Boolean, and I'll just pick this one again, and I'll pick that plate there and that plate there, and we're Boolean those together. So now what I'm going to do in actual fact is I'm going to come in here, I'm going to pick a cylinder, hollow cylinder, and I'm going to drop that on there like so, and I'm going to give that a radius of 62, Make that a bit bigger. 62. Like so. And what I'll do, I'll just drag that right the way through the part. So now when we look in there, we can see that we're going right the way through the part. And also I need to put another one on this face here. So I'll just go around here and I'll actually pick another cylinder there and I'll position that in there, and I'll give that a radius of 62, or a diameter of 62. And let's just move that in a bit, so it's breaking through, and take it through there. So now when we look in there, we can see that we're actually going right the way through both parts. In actual fact, that cylinder there doesn't look as if it's in the centre. So what I'll do, I'll just actually sort of I'll just pick that up. Let's move that to the centre point. Save there, like so. F10, and we just drag that back through into the part like so. It doesn't matter where it is, as long as it goes through that plate. So we've now got our shaft going through there like so. And then I can come back in here and I can actually unsuppress the plates like so. Unsuppress, so they're now in place. So that's the bulk of this completed. Need to put some fillets and that on here, as well as some holes in these plates. So we just go to feature and we go to blend edges, and we'll say let's make that 12, and we'll pick up on these edges. That one there and that one there, and just say OK. And because those two plates were linked, you'll notice that in actual fact I've put the fillets on this side and they've actually gone on that one as well. We've just got to do the other plate, so we're coming here, blend edge, 12, 12. Let's put one on there. And finally, we'll put one on here, like so. So there we are, we've actually got our blends on here. Also got some holes to go in here. So again, I'll pick the whole cylinder from the shapes catalogue and I'll just drag one onto there like so, and I'll give that a diameter of 12, like so. I'll press F10, and now if I hold the centre of, if I select the centre of the triball with the right mouse button and press the shift key, I can in actual fact just hover over that other fillet there, and it will like put that other hole in the centre there, and just say copy here and just go OK. And again, detach the triball. This time what I'll do, I'll pick that hole there, hold the shift key, pick the other one, press F10, and again pick the centre of the hole of the triball rather with the right mouse button, press the shift key and drag down here, and then just say copy here, and we want one of those at 60 centres. Press F10 to get rid of the triball, and you'll see that in actual fact we've also now got the holes on the other side as well. Finally, we've got the same to do on this front plate. So again, we go cylinder, drop a hole in here, and basically we'll put that at 12 diameter. And what we'll do again, we'll press F10 to bring up the triball, right mouse click on the centre of the triball, holding the shift key, drag that over here like so, let go and say copy here, 1 at 80, OK. Press the F10 to detach it, hold the shift key and press and select the other hole, press F10, select the actual centre of the triball again with the right mouse button, drag and drop down. In actual fact, I need to move that up a bit so I can see it. Let's just do that again. There we are, and we say copy here, want one of those at 60 centres, F10, and that's our holes finished on the plates. We can also now maybe add some fillets to these parts, but before I do that, I'm just going to actually do a few more booleans here. So I'll do a boolean, and what I want to do now in actual fact is boolean these together, so they all become one part. like so, and just press the green tick. So there we are. Let's just do that again. Boolean, that part there, that one, these pillars, that one there. Yes, okay. So there we are. That's actually our that's a now Boolean together. If you look in the browser, we can see that we've actually got those as one part. And now what we can do is actually just maybe put some blends on here. So what I'll do, I'll go to feature, we're in feature again, go blend, and let's put some blends in here, maybe 3. And what I'll do, I'll just put some blends around here. Let's pick up on these features, like so. Maybe these. Pick up on these edges. Just say okay. Put those in there. Maybe let's put some more blends on here. So we'll put some in here. Just pick up on the edge as you do each one. And just say okay. So you can just start blending these pieces like so. Got another one there. Let's put a blend on here because if this is a casting or whatever, let's just put those on there like so. Another one there. So okay. So effectively we've put some blends in there as well. And that's pretty much it. So as far as it goes, you know, we've actually done all of that without really any need to sketch. It's all been done from the primitive shapes in the catalogue, together with the use of the Sizebox handles and in association with the Triball. So hopefully that's given you a good idea as to just how flexible that this approach to modelling is. It's very fast. It's great for concept design. And as I say, it certainly does give you more flexibility over what you hope to end up with in terms of parts and assemblies. And just to finish that off, because in actual fact you can, if you wish, go to catalogues here, go to a new catalogue, pick up your part and just simply drag and drop it into the drag and drop it up into your catalogue and reuse it at any time. So hopefully that's useful, and wish you all the very best. Thank you.